What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Refill Podcast. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. And tonight, we got another great show. Another great show. But tonight, I'm going to do it solo tonight. We had a very good artist. We had a great guest. Somehow ran into some technical problems, but we're gonna keep this thing going. But tonight, man, listen, your boy gonna do this thing solo. We're gonna talk about some things tonight in the gospel rap space. Listen, if this is your first time coming on, or if you've been coming on and rocking with us for the last 3-4 months, you already know what type of podcast this is, how we get down. It's a gospel rap podcast, and we highlight the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the influencers, everybody who make gospel rap get down globally. That's what we feature on this podcast. But tonight, we're going to talk about something that's very important in the space, in the gospel rap space, and that's media. But before we get into that topic, listen, tonight, if you like what we've been doing over the last 3 months, this is show number 18. Like, share, tell somebody, comment, let us know what you think about the show. You can email us, you can inbox us. Soon we'll have the website up and ready. It'll be DAREFILL.com. We got the domain, all that stuff situated. So we'll have everything on the website soon. And so we're gonna get this thing started. But remember, every Thursday, every Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time, we are live. We do a live podcast every week. We're just talking about everything gospel rap. The gospel rap space, the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the influencers, and also go to our YouTube page. We got a YouTube page. Just, search The Refill Show. Everything is at The Refill Show. And then we got the YouTube channel. This weekend we will have all 17 shows, including this show number 18. We have this on the YouTube page. So listen, I know we on show 18, but it feel like we just not getting started with this thing, man. Every show been good. Every artist, everybody who's been on the show, man. I mean, it's really been good. We learned something, got something out of every show. And so tonight is no different, man. We're just going to talk about the media space in gospel rap music, in the music industry of gospel rap. But we're going to talk about why we need the media to grow. Listen, I've been in the gospel rap space for over 15 years, and I've seen, the different nuances, the different things that the strengths of gospel rap and also its weaknesses. And one of the weaknesses is the lack of funding. That's one. The lack of media. As far as like how can we create the music, create the content, and get it out at a faster rate. So we're gonna talk about the media aspect tonight, and what can we do to continue to grow the media out. One of the things we're doing with this podcast is this is a piece of media that what we're doing here on the Refill. My parent company, Divine 7 Entertainment, oversees this venture. But what we're doing is we're just doing our part in the media space to help grow the genre, the industry as a whole. And so that's why if you've been coming on every week, you kind of got a gist of what we're doing here on the Refill. If you're new, I'm glad you tuned in. We hope you tune in every week. We broadcasting live from the Dirty South. So, give us a couple of shows if you're new to this to get down and see what we doing. And hopefully I believe you will like what we doing, what we building here, man. We put a lot of time, we put a lot of energy, a lot of just work, money, time, faith, everything you need to grow something successful. That's what we doing here on the refill. And so, we on show 18 tonight. We're looking to get to show 800. And so it's going to take some time, but we're going to get there, man. We're gonna get through this thing. But listen, I done said enough, man. We're talking about the media space and gospel rap and what can we do to grow it. So what I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to share my thoughts on, what I've seen over the years. I'm going to share my thoughts on, what can be done to improve the gospel rap space on the media side. There are a lot of things that's lacking in the gospel rap space, and I've seen it across the board. I've talked to enough people to see, to hear the problems, to hear the concerns. And tonight I'm just going to address a couple of them, man, just for a few minutes. I'm not going to stay on here too long, but tonight we're going to talk about media. So one of the things that, again, that push media forward is content and money. But I'm gonna address the money part, not necessarily the content part. Listen, why I'm talking about this, if you have any questions, if you want to make any comments, man, just comment in the box. We just like everybody else. Y'all watch the show, comment in the box below. If I see your question, I'm going to try to answer whichever question I see tonight. But tonight, we're going to talk about the media space. So we're talking about the money part, and that's the key. Money make the world go round. We've heard that so many times. We go to work for money. We start businesses to make money. I tell people, hey, if you're not in business to make money, then you really you need to consider yourself a hobbyist. It's a hobby to you because you're not making no money. So money make everything move. The Bible says money answers all. That means it answers all things. If you hungry, you go to the store, you can't buy nothing without money. You go through a drive-through, you order your favorite food, you can't get nothing without money. You like a certain car, you can't buy if you don't have the money. You like to wear, you like to be fresh a certain way, dress and, wear these hats and these headphones, they cost money. And so I'm going to talk about the money aspect of media and why it's lacking. Now, I'm going to go back from when I started years ago doing gospel rap, and it was more to me about the love. A lot of artists were doing it because they just love the music. They love rapping. They love getting on stage. So everybody was hungry. Everybody was, and they're still hungry. But when we started, it was, to me, it was more grit, more grind. You just going from city to city, town to town, putting it down with a trunk full of CDs and flyers and T-shirts, and you trying to, rap wherever, in churches, clubs, outside in the park, the projects, the ghettos, wherever you was trying to get it. But the one thing that I know now that I didn't know then was the business side of the music business. And I tell people it's a business. We can make music, we can create the content, we can do all that stuff. All that's good. But the music business, I tell people this, listen to this. This gonna sound goofy, but it's gonna make sense. You got the word music and you got the word business. Well, one word got 5 letters in it, and the other word got 8 letters in it. Music got 5, business got 8. So the business side of the music business got more letters than the music side. So I tell people, I said, now that sounds crazy, but that's just my way of breaking down where your priorities need to be in the music business space. You need to think more about the business side, the contracts, the paperwork, when money's flowing, shows, promoters. You got to think about all that stuff on the music business side. So I'm gonna go back again. When we started, everybody was just moving around. We was saving our money, putting our own money up. Man, then when CDs was booming, I mean, you buy 1,000 fully packaged CDs for $1,600. You know what I'm saying? You got 1,000 CDs at $10 a CD. You looking to make $10,000 every time you hit one of those CD manufacturing companies. You know, then it was disc makers. It was a lot of them, but one of them for me was disc makers. So when you spend $1,600, you looking to make $10,000 every time. So if you got $10,000, you take out 3, double up. Now you got $2,000. Now you finna make 20. Add it to what you got like 25, maybe 20, 25 to $28,000 you work with. So here's the thing. So cut this off. So back then, it was more. That was the understood way of doing business on the gospel rap side. Meaning, I got some money. I done scooted to the side and got me a good stash set up that I could dig out of, buy so many CDs, buy so many T-shirts, get my table together, you know what I'm saying? And when you get to these shows, now you gotta perform. And if you perform, you get to sell music. That's how it was. Now it's different. It's totally different. Oh, let me go back one more time. Even with working with promoters was like, we just tried to give you some exposure. So I think all of us fed, myself included, fed into the, okay, buddy, rock with me. I'm going to go do that show. I'm going to drive 3-4 hours for nothing. But I'm going to sell my CDs at the table and at least get some money back. So that's how it was structured then, and it's still somewhat structured like that now. So the business side of the gospel rap music business side is one of the areas that the gospel rap industry lack, is understanding business, understanding paperwork. But we're talking about media tonight. So I'm saying all this I'm going to speed up back into the media side. I'm just giving you a gist of how it was back then, and it's still somewhat like that today. Now, we're talking about the media side and why the need for media in the gospel rap space. It takes money to grow the media. It takes money to, to create websites, to create magazines, online magazines now, to create whatever content you need. It takes money to grow that media space. What we're doing here on our end in the podcast space now, it's a portion of gospel rap that's growing the media space. And so what we're doing here is we highlighting gospel rap for an audience that don't know what gospel rap is, and for an audience that know what it is. I tell people all the time that the gospel rap space is real heavy underground, real heavy. I've met globally artists on the pages that I manage on social media, artists in Africa, artists in the UK, Australia, China, Mexico, South America. I've actually talked to these cats just to get a gist of how they getting down in their city and their country. And we got some good conversation. But the media space is the side of gospel rap that's really not strong yet. It's not strong yet. I'm gonna give you an example. If a non-gospel rap artist, I'm gonna use what's her name? I just use Meg Thee Stallion or Drake. Somebody that people are familiar with. If they produce something, they have a whole media army that they can push their content through. Now it take them spending some dollars. They gotta put that money out there to make it happen. But when they produce content, they got a whole media army where they can just push their music through to get it heard faster. Now, a lot of them may not be the best rappers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just got, to me, some good marketing plan and strategies. I tell people all the time that it's not necessarily if you have the talent that will get you places. It's if you got the hustle and you want to add that hustle to your muscle and outwork the talent when the talent don't want to work. It's a lot of talented people, but there are some people out there that's just outworking the talented people. So when we see something and we say, wait a minute, that don't sound good. Why we see them on everything? Why we see them, y'all heard some bad singles and some bad rappers. Y'all seen some bad actors and some bad actresses. Y'all seen them. And you're like, man, how they keep getting these opportunities? They just out working everybody. They just stand in front of faces and eyes and ears. So they just out working everybody. So the thing is, on the media side and gospel rap, when artists make the content, we don't have an army of media, a big database army of media outlets where we can push the music. We got the Rapzillas, we got the social media pages, we got, the Spotify's, but that's only one small segment of the overall whole thing in on the music business side as far as the media space. If I get out here and make the best trap album y'all ever heard, listen to me. I can go to a club, they'll bump it. Club, strip club, they'll play it. I can go put it in the DJ pools where they got all these DJs global wide just sharing your music. They'll play it, they'll bump it if they fool with it. I got all these different outlets, all these world stars, and all these different online outlets, XXL, Vlad TV. You got all these different outlets for the non-gospel rap side that they can go to and get content put out fast. Now, on the gospel rap side, we don't have that. So what I've come to, the conclusion I've come down to is this, is that we as the artists, those that's been in gospel rap for a long time, that understand the space, that's willing to sacrifice some money, that's willing to sacrifice some time, that's willing to sacrifice your leisure time. We have to take our own money and build a space. Just like we doing here. Y'all looking at this live stream right now. But what y'all don't know is that inside this building that I lease, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors to make this show work. And a high-end camera to give some good quality. We got wires running all across the floor. We got speakers and switches and this big desktop computer y'all don't see. All the stuff around me that y'all don't see, we had to spend money to give y'all a quality show. We just didn't put up a camera, this thing, the smartphone, and just say, hey, let's just try some. And let's see if it works. Now, the media space in gospel rap, on the gospel rap side, is lacking really, really bad. And so, for anyone that's listening, especially the gospel rappers, think about building the media space. And somebody looking at this, they like, well, how can I build? What can I do? You can create a podcast. And instead of just featuring you can feature other artists. You can start a YouTube channel. I'm going to say this. The way of the world now versus just 10 years ago have changed. And so we had to get on board. We had to say, okay, we ain't buying CDs no more. We got to get on these Spotify playlists. We got to set up create music to set up, download lists and those different type of things, and create YouTube channels and really work and navigate through social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, all these different platforms to navigate, to create, that we need to be on to create the media to push the content through. And networking with other gospel rap media outlets. Now, I have a page called The Pros. It's called the Christian Rap Network. Right now, currently, we have right at 2,500 members right now. But listen, what make our page unique is that this page that we created years ago is designed exclusively for the artists, the DJs, the promoters, and the influencers, so they can network. So we created a media hub for the artists, the DJs, the promoters, and the influencers, so they can network globally. We got artists, DJs, promoters, influencers on this page globally. They from all over the place on this one page. And so it took time for the page to grow. Before I cut this camera on to talk to y'all, I just got a alert on my phone saying 8 people want to join. You know, they said, hey, 8 people want to get on. Earlier today, somebody got on the page and they recommended 14, 15 people to get on the page. So we let them all in. So what I'm saying is we're building a network hub on the media side, because we got to have the media. We got to have podcast shows. We got to have TV shows. We got to have the YouTube channels. And artists, you got to do the work to find these media outlets in the gospel rap space and network with them and be about your business. That's the one thing I see. Also, that's another thing that's lacking on the gospel rap side. It's just cats being about their business. You know, it's called the music business. And if you're not handling business right, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for me. If you come in, like they say in Memphis, my partner, shout out to everybody in Memphis I fool with, they say you're faking and flashing. If you come to me faking and flashing, I don't fool with you. I'm grown. I cut you loose. It's just like that. Like they say, straight like that. That's who I am. Cause it's business at the end of the day. Yeah, I do gospel rap, but I also do good gospel rap business. If you ain't about your business, I don't fool with you. That's anything. So the thing is, you got to be about your business. You got to be about not just God business, but also how you handle business. And you got to understand your name is everything. So if your name is Mud, I ain't gonna fool with you. I'm not gonna fool with you. If you out here, you're not about your word, if you're not a stand-up person, period, I'm not gonna fool with you at all. I see you in the same room, I'm grown enough to walk right past you. I won't even give you the double trunk, do salute, none of that. I won't shake your hand because you just do bad business. But I don't want to talk about bad business, and I want to talk about the media side. The media side, we have to start looking to grow the media side of gospel rap. And I'm speaking to the artists that's in it. The artists that's getting down, making the music. Do more than the music. I make the music too. Hey, I'm working on mixtape stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I'm to the point with the music. Hey, if cats like it, cool. If they don't, cool. I'm gonna make some more because I got access to do it. I can make as much of it as I can, as much of it as I want to. But right now, my focus is on not just making the music in the studio. It's just making the media side and working behind the scenes, and in some cases in front of the scenes. Like right now, I'm in front of the scene. I'm on this podcast, but behind the scenes, making the calls, making the connections, spending the money you need to make a great show. What y'all see on this podcast, we trying to present a great show to the public. That's what we're doing. And so the media side is what we need. We need a strong media side. I see a lot of people get in, they spend a little money, they create something, and they quit. And they stop. And I'm like, no, you got to learn how to be consistent while you building something. I tell people all the time, and I said it when the show started, we're at show 18. We're looking to get to show 800. That's going to take some years to do that. But I'm already prepared up here to do it. That means mentally, that means just staying prayed up, having the faith. You got to have the money. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the connections. You got to be willing to learn how all this stuff y'all don't see, the camera, the switches, the desktop computer. You go in there and you say, okay, I got to buy this computer and it costs $1,700. Well, let me go ahead and drop 17 and get it. Versus, I can take 17 and go buy me some shoes or some rims or some clothes, some temporary stuff. You can do what you want to do with your money. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do with your money. Do what you want to do. You can burn it. You can throw it in the street while you're driving down the street. Whatever. Do whatever you want to do with your money. But I'm just saying, for those who looking to build on the media side, you got to be consistent. You got to learn how to persevere through time when trends change. We don't know how long this social media cloud gonna hang around us. Every day is something new. The newest thing is what's that thing that everybody jumping on? That Clubhouse. It's like the moment we jump on one platform, somebody creates something else, and then everybody go shift to that. And then when Clubhouse not hot no more, whatever the hot thing is, everybody gonna shift to that. So we have to be consistent in building out the media space. Persistence, perseverance, and being consistent. Persistent, perseverance, and consistency will always win. I tell people all the time, I'm prepared to outwork whoever, whenever, however. And you have to be that way in business. I've been operating business since, 2004. With barbershops and marketing companies and all that other stuff. But on the gospel rap space for about 15 plus years. So I understand what it takes to go through the course of time when things change. When I started, it was CDs. Now it's streaming. You better get with the time and figure out how to work it. And you want to get paid. Learn how to get paid. So in this media space, we have to understand that this is what we need to push the content at a faster rate, the content that we make. Let me tell you what happens when cats don't see the fruit of their labor. They go to a studio, right? If they got their own studio or they just spend some money. I know how much studios cost. I got one on my own. I know the price points of a studio, any studio. So they go to a studio, they make these projects, they get the final, master, the wave files, they're ready to put it out to the world. Then they don't see no traction behind that hard work and the money they spend. They get discouraged. Now, for the cats that's not gospel rapping, I call them the street rappers, the non-gospel rap artists. They have outlets. They have internet shows that's doing big numbers where they can just go shoot a song to somebody that's a big rap influencer that's going to give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down on your music. You see what I'm saying? They got those outlets. We necessarily don't. And so what happens is the artists, when they don't see the traction on the music and the projects they created, they get discouraged and they quit. Somebody asked me a long time ago, say, why is it that y'all been hanging around but other cats quit? I said, because they get discouraged. I don't care about if how hot a cat come in the door. You got to learn how to stay hot. And if you're not trying to learn how to stay hot, you're going to get discouraged and quit. And that's in anything. Listen, I'm a barber. I'm in the real estate space. I'm in the food business space. I'm in the marketing space, the gospel rap space, the ministry space, all these spaces, right? And what I've learned over time is that it's not about, I can get hot to start it. It's, can you stay hot to continue? And that's where perseverance, persistence, and consistency comes in it. So on the media side, the reason why gospel rap don't have the big media presence is because cats get in, they create something, they look around, and they get discouraged, and they quit. And that's the bottom line. They quit. So somebody looking at this like, well, how we know you're not going to quit? I said, well, stick around and watch the show. I tell people all the time, you got two type of people in the world. You got game players and spectators. Pick which one you want to be. I'd rather be the game player. I'd rather put in the work to get the player on the floor or the field. That's just me. But you got spectators, or game players. Pick which one you want to be. So the thing is, the media side is for everyone that's looking at this. All the gospel rap out, whoever looking at it, I don't know who's looking at this, but decide to, if you're going to create the media side, meaning the blogs, the YouTube channels, the websites, the networking hubs, networking events, the radio shows, TV shows, all these different forms of media. I'm just naming a few. Decide to get in it and stay in it and make it grow. You want to know why? You look at a company like Levi's. I tell people all the time, the best pants to wear a pair of fresh J's is Levi's. They say, why come? I said, because they just made the fit on top of them J's. You don't want them covering J's up. They sit right on top real good. But that's another topic for another day. But I'm going to talk about Levi's, the company. The reason why they've been around since like 1860 something, because they figured out how to survive the trends, survive the changes. Times change, trends happen, different things change. So they decided to say, you know what? We're going to take our money, we're going to take our resources, and we're going to figure out how to win and how to stay hot. If they started in 1862, listen, back in 1920, I like history, but I want to say like in 1920, there was the Great Depression. They had to survive that stuff. Everybody in the world, 100 years later, in 2020, we're trying to survive a COVID-19 pandemic right now. So you got to learn how to stay consistent when you build. Invest in equipment and learn how it works. Right now, I'm running a one-man show, sometimes two. But my goal is to have somebody working the camera, somebody working these monitors I'm looking at, somebody working the switchers, and somebody working these computers that I'm looking at, and the big computer. It's a lot going on in here that y'all don't see, but I got to set it on autopilot because all I got to do is click one button and everything rolling. But soon I'm already thinking about, hey, I can build this platform, take the money from the contributions from y'all wonderful fans, and hire staff. And don't be saying, well, take all the money, you talking about you got all these businesses and hire some folks. No, it don't work like that. Because now you pulling out of one business, trying to do something else, and some going to be lacking. Business don't operate like that. And if you're doing business like that, that's not good business. But anyway, you got to learn how to stay consistent when you build in the media space. I've seen a lot of podcasts come and go. I've seen a lot of artists over the years come in hot and they leave out cold. They come in hot and they don't know how to stay hot. And then they want to blame everybody. First they want to blame God. Oh, God did this. No, God just trying to see what you going to do. It ain't got nothing to do with God. Oh, I didn't get no help. Everybody left me. Okay, so what you going to do? Listen, over the course of time, I've signed artists and paid them, right? I've been around big crowds, small crowds. I've rapped in front of big show. I'm talking about big show. Rapped in front of 2 people, literally 2 people. So I done seen it. I done seen a lot. I can't say I've seen it all, but I've seen a lot. Listen, I've traveled on the road with, cats. We driving like them convoy of those big trucks riding on your freeway from city to city, and I done rode in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning by myself, leaving the show, 5 hours away. I've done that. I've done it. So I understand what it takes to get it done. What I'm trying to convey to whoever started a media, anything on the gospel rap space, is stay consistent. That podcast, whatever it is, the radio show, the podcast, the TV show, stay consistent. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. Don't just get hot to start. You got to stay hot. And when you stay hot, you win. You know how to go through the course of time because times change. Right now, the music started. Listen, I'm going to take y'all way back. When music was on albums back in the 50s. Joker, I wasn't back in the 40s and 50s, but they had albums. They had, I think they call them phonograph albums. Don't hold me to that. But, before they had albums, they was playing them on some. And then they went to albums. Then they went to cassette tapes. Then they went to CDs. Now everybody downloading everything, streaming everything. Spotify lists, YouTube lists, Apple Music, all these lists, DistroKid. It's digital distribution companies. So what I'm saying is, you got to make up in your mind if you want to do this, if you want to grow your media company. See, we decided to win. You have to decide to win. You have to decide if you want to be a winner. I tell people all the time, do you want to be a game player or a spectator? There's only 2 types of people in the world. I used to say that all the time when I had my barbershop, and a lot of them, especially the younger cats, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Explain that. And I break it down. I say there's only 2 types of people in this world, the game players and the spectators. Which one you want to be? Decide and then work on that. So the thing is, I know I said a lot, but I hope this conversation just get the attention and just spark the mind of whoever listening to, if you're gonna grow and build on the media side, decide to do it big. Just like a CNN, just like a Fox. On the church channels, you got Daystar, you got TBN. The sports channels, you got ESPN, you got Fox Sports. Like, those companies grew from one camera, from one cable, but they grew from an idea, and they stayed consistent, and they took the money that they was getting in from contributions and sales or however they was getting it, and they was putting it back. They was recycling it back into their companies, buying computers, buying switchers, buying microphones. This microphone here I'm talking on. How I knew about, let me tell you how I knew about this microphone. I was sitting, this office space I've been in now, I've been here 6 years, right at 7 years. And I was just on the internet, saw something, somebody shared something about Ricky Smiley, the comedian. And the microphone in the studio he was in, it was just shining so good. I said, man, what kind of microphone is that? And it sound good. I wasn't thinking about what Ricky Smiley was talking about. I was like, what kind of microphone is that? So I got on Google. I tell people Google is your best friend if you use it right. I got on Google. I looked up. I said, there you go. Went down to the Guitar Center. They gave me the price tag. I gave them the card. They swiped it. They said check for it in 2 days, and it was there. So that's investing back into the company. This microphone, this boom stand, this certain type of cable. It's not a regular cable. It's a certain type of cable to make this thing sound good. So what I'm telling you is, if you're looking at this, if you're listening, if not just the media space, just whatever you decide to do on the gospel rap side, do it with excellence and do it big and do it thinking 10 years down the line and not just, we going to start something. We're going to see if it's going to work. And if it don't work, God is good. Let me tell y'all something. Let me share something with y'all. And I tell people this all the time. And I learned this. I'm gonna give y'all a Bible reference, and I'm gonna give y'all a Bible reference, and I'm gonna give y'all a just how I get down. The Bible reference, I always think about the story of Noah. And y'all know Noah built the boat, right? Because God said, hey, Noah, it's going to rain for the first time ever. And this rain going to flood the earth. Build a boat. Wasn't nobody building boats back then. He did it out of obedience. So he built the boat by himself. And let me tell you something. A lot of y'all looking at this, y'all seen a football field, right? The boat was longer than 3 football fields. A football field itself is 100 yards. 1 yard is 3 feet, I believe. So that's 300 feet. This boat was longer than 3 football fields. He built it by himself. By himself, he built it. So, to those who are believers and listening and pray and they listen for God to speak and tell them when to do things, in most cases, God's going to give you something that you have to build on your own. Now, he'll give you the idea. He'll spark it in your heart. Hey, do this, do that. But you're going to end up doing it by yourself on your own for a while until he send more help. Now, what we doing here with this podcast on the media space, I understand being an artist, what it takes to build this podcast and how to withstand and persevere through time. And you got to have the mindset. You got to start off wanting to win. If you're not trying to win, you already lost. Your mindset ain't good. Your mindset got to be right. It got to be right. Listen, we live in a time in the social media era where it don't matter where you are. If you if you have a winning mindset, it don't matter how you look, how you sound, what you got on, if you wide, if you skinny, if you tall, if you 2 feet tall. But if you have a winning mindset and you have a great work ethic, you can win. And you will outdo everybody in your field and in your space. When the haters come, because they gonna come. Oh, Joker, I can talk about haters for the next 10 hours. I know them. I seen them. I experienced them. I know how they get down. But I also know how to maneuver around haters. I've seen it. I tell people all the time, don't be thinking because we talk about the Lord and gospel rap, oh, Joker ain't no haters. Yeah, it's some haters. I've seen it. So, but I could talk about haters another time. But you have to have the mindset. We're in the gospel rap, not gospel rap, we're in the social media space. We're in social media time. You can be in backyard Mississippi, and as long as you get on social media and make it work, you winning. You can be in Los Angeles, LA, around the movie stars. If you get out there and make something happen, you good. Hold up. That good Mountain Dew. Me and Mountain Dew, we got a love affair. And so I don't drink no sodas except Mountain Dew and root beer. It's good. But anyway, if you in Chicago, you can make it happen. If you in North Dakota, you can make it happen. If you in South Dakota, if you in South Carolina, if you in some backwoods somewhere, or if you in some big city somewhere, you can make it happen. As long as you got this phone, access to social media, and you gonna decide to be consistent in making content, you can win. But listen, I said enough, man. I'm gonna get off this thing, and I'm glad y'all tuned in. You know, every Thursday and Friday night we feature a guest artist, DJ, promoter, influencer. Next week we got 2 artists ready to go. No, the rest of the month we got 4 artists ready to go for the month of January. So I thank God for just vision, work ethic, and just having the mindset to see it through. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the mindset to see it through. Everybody ain't gonna like what you're doing. You know, everybody ain't gonna get down with what you're doing. You know, I understand that. You know, I'm cool with that. It don't matter. If you're just not new to the show, this show we do every week, give us a couple of shows. Give us a couple of shows. If you like it, share it, comment, tell somebody about it. You know, and if you don't, if it ain't for you, cool. Maybe one day it will. It will be. But every week we're here on Facebook. Soon we'll be streaming at the same simultaneously. That big word, simultaneously, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, our website, and whatever platform is out there. I think Periscope is still out there. So, you know, we on show 18, but again, we looking to get to show 800. You know what I'm saying? And we'll look back at this time and say, you know what? I'm glad we didn't quit. I'm glad we didn't stop. You know, so I'm glad we continue. And what I would tell anybody that's looking at this is that if you want to achieve your goal, you know, there's so many things in this world, so many occupations. You have lawyers, barbers, cosmetologists. You got the people that create hedge funds. You got people that create things for airplanes, helicopters. You got school teachers. There are so many occupations in this world. And you have to decide, whichever space you work in, that you be the best in it. That's one thing I strive to do. And I guess what I'm going to give you is a little bit about me and why we created this platform. Because I understand the need to showcase gospel rap with this media platform we're creating here with the Refill. And I understand the mindset it take to make it happen and to see it through. You know, when people all around you saying, no, you can't do that. No, you from Little Rock, Arkansas. You need to move to Atlanta, or you need to move to LA, or Memphis, or you need to move to New York. And I've thought about those things. But I also have to be reminded, and God sometimes will remind me who He put in me, what He put in me, and what I need to do with what I have currently. So this podcast is dedicated to the gospel rap space. It's dedicated to the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the influencers that make gospel rap rock and roll. You know, and if somebody just not looking at just like, I never heard of gospel rap, well, Google it. It's there. YouTube, it's there. You know, I tell a lot. I've talked to a lot of parents, just doing this. You know, and one of the concerns that a lot of parents have is they want something for them because they like rap, but they also want something for their kids. I got kids. I get it. They already know what I'm listening to when they ride with me. You know, they already know. So the thing is that I know I said a lot, but I really want the media side, whoever listening to this, to understand that don't quit. Build the media side of gospel rap, oversee it, and handle it good, and do it in an excellent way. Don't just do it for conversation. You can tell your friends, hey, this is what I do. Do it because you understand the need for it. I understand there's a need for more media on the gospel rap space. So we decided to take this extra room we had and just put lights all around it and green screens and switches and computers. We got big dog stuff happening, you know, here to make it work. That's not a flex. I'm not slight flexing on y'all. I'm just saying that's our mentality. You know, what we put out there, it got to be good. It got to be excellent. And it got to be right. Because even though I've been working in the gospel rap space for a long time, the one consistent thing is the consumers, they're not going to lie to you. And you can't trick your customers. You can't trick the consumers. You can't trick the people that's watching the show and listening to it. You can't trick people that's listening to your music and watching you perform and see your videos. You know, they know what good quality is. They know if you put some money and some real time and thought into what you're doing, and they know when you just put something together and they say that mess whack, it ain't good, it's slow, it's sour. And you sit back saying, well, I'm a gospel rapper. Why they don't support me? Well, they looking at your product and they saying, this ain't good. It ain't good. Now, your song may be good, but the video may be horrible. You see what I'm saying? So you have to think about all that stuff. I knew going in, creating this podcast, I want to look a certain way. I want the lights in here to be a certain way. The camera to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Not just cutting the camera on and saying, okay, we got a camera on, but I'm saying understanding how the camera functions. Meaning you got to get up under the hood and figure out how this thing works when you run it across internet lines. You got to have certain settings set in a certain way. So, you know, it's a lot, but what I'm trying to encourage you to do is to be great. Be great. Don't listen to people. Don't worry about how it's going to look in the beginning. If you have vision. See, I want our podcast to have the look and feel of a CNN show. To have the look and feel of a ESPN show when you cut these shows on. You know, for the ladies, you know, a lot of ladies, they watch The View or they watch, what's the other show, The Real or the Oprah Winfrey shows. I want our podcast to rival those. Now somebody looking at this like, man, you crazy. Well, I am. Because I think like that. That's why coming out the door with this, we have to look a certain way. And we'll figure out how to get to those areas later that I'm talking about. We'll get there. But I want y'all to do great things. I love gospel rap. I am an advocate for everything gospel rap. I love everything else, man. You know, people that know me know I'm a big football fan, basketball fan, boxing. I love basketball, football, boxing. I can watch it all day. I can chop it up about politics all day. But when it comes to gospel rap, that's my heart work. This is my heart work. H-E-A-R-T. Not the hard, but heart work. This is the work that we get to do to see lives change. I've seen lives change over a gospel rap song, literally. I've seen people switch directions in life by listening to a gospel rap song. I've seen people come behind the stage or on side of the stage really affected by a song you did during a 10-minute set, and they trying to figure out how I need to get to know that God you talking about, bro. I'm talking about those conversations. So this is my heart work. You know, I could talk about football, basketball. I could talk about life. I could talk about business all day long. You know, I could talk about those things all day long. I can help people. I've done it. I still do it. Some people, they try to figure out, well, how do I operate my business? I can talk about that, you know. But when it comes to gospel rap, I'm 10 toes down, and I'm in it. And I'm in it all the way through. All the way through. If I got to row the boat by myself, baby, till we get to where we need to go, I'm going to do that because I did that, been there. And that's not a boast, and that's not a brag. You know, I make my boast and I brag on the Lord because I know who helped me. I know who helped my family. My family is a business. So I'm saying my family, everything we doing is business oriented, ministry oriented. So I want y'all to win because what we trying to build here with the refill is something that people gonna talk about in a good way. Yeah, if they want to talk about it in a bad way, that's cool. I don't trip off that because people got their opinions. You know, somebody looking at this and like, that joker, you know, he don't sound like this, he don't look like that, and that's all right. Because I'm telling you, keep watching the show and you're going to see some more. So the thing is that, you know, y'all pray for us. If you pray for us that we keep this thing moving, that we keep this thing gliding across the water, you know, because it takes time. Listen, to make this stuff work, you got to pray. You got to have the money. You got to have the faith and the belief. You got to put in the work. And you got to do it all on repeat. And you got to learn, here's the key, you got to learn to not listen to the noise. What I mean is people saying this and people saying that. It's called, people gonna say what they gonna say. You have to decide what you listen to and what you answer to. You know, I've heard a lot. I've heard people say, you know, what you doing in gospel rap, that ain't of God. Why you doing that? Jesus ain't rap. I remember people coming by our table, looking at our early products, you know, the CD covers and the T-shirts, walking away laughing. And in my mind, I'm like, you ain't seen nothing yet. So now when they come by our tables and they see our merchandise, they say, these boys in it for real. They look like they're an established artist or a company or something. So I said all that to say this, man. I'm glad y'all tuned in to another episode of the Refill. Normally, if you watch every week, we feature an artist, DJ, promoter, or influencer of the genre. But this time, we ran into some technical difficulties with one of the artists, and we decided to just do it on our own. Tonight I'm cool. I can do that too. Trust me. I did plenty of time. I'm not bothered by that. We just look here. We just keep it rolling. That's one thing in life. You got to keep it rolling, no matter what. No matter how things happen, how things look, you got to keep it going. You got to roll. You don't entertain stuff for a long time. Hey, you might get upset, push it off, and keep it moving. That's how you get ahead. Keep it going. So, man, I'm gonna get off this thing. Man, I said enough. But next week, next Thursday, next Friday, 6 p.m. Central Time, y'all come back to the Refill. We're working on putting this website together. I've been saying that every week. I know people that's looking, they probably like, man, where the website? It's coming. We just want it got to be right. It got to look right. It got to feel right. We're just not putting something out there. And it's not, a parallel with what we're doing. Another big word, parallel with what we're doing. So, again, we're glad y'all tuned in, man. We're glad y'all checked out the show. Come back next week, 6 p.m. Central Time. If you're on the East Coast, it's 7 o'clock. You're on the West Coast. If it's Mountain Time, it's 5 o'clock. If it's Pacific, it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock, 2 hours behind. So 4 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. And wherever you are in the world, man, you got to Google that stuff up. If you outside the United States, I don't know the time zones like that. But again, man, I'm glad y'all tuned in. I just wanted to talk a little bit tonight about why we need to build a media space and the mindset we got to have to see it through. Don't get in you. Don't quit. That's anything. Don't quit. Don't stop. You got to get in with the end in mind. Don't get in when stuff get tough and hard and you say, you know what, forget this, I'm done. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and the ugly. And trust me, it's easy to throw your hands up and be like, hey, forget that. I don't want to do this no more. But to me, the reward is seeing the goal and seeing it the way you envision it in your mind. Don't worry about how you going to get there. Don't worry about how you going to look. Don't worry about how you going to sound. Don't worry about none of that stuff. Just do the work. And when you do the work, you going to see the results. And can't nobody say nothing about the results. They can't. Listen, I tell people all the time, I'm going to go off this. I tell people all the time, you can't curse me. All thing you can do is bless me. I hear the haters. I see it. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've been in the rooms around them. So I tell people you can't do nothing but bless me, because what we're trying to do and what we're looking to do here on the Refill is to build a great platform for the gospel rap arena, the gospel rap genre. Listen, if you want to donate to the show, just look at the bottom of this video. You'll see information on PayPal, information about PayPal, Cash App, VENMO, and we have Zelle, and we got Square. So we got 5 payment methods that you can pay. I will talk about money. I'm not one of these people that talk about Jesus and subtract the money out of talking about Jesus. And no, we talk about money because we need money to grow. We need money to build. We need money to do everything we're doing. And by you donating to this podcast, and people have and has donated in the past, and they continue to do today. So I'm not saying this to get you to do it. People actually donate to the show. And so we tell people we don't have a dollar amount. We don't have, pay $50 for this, $100 or $1,000 or $1, whatever you want to donate. It goes towards something good. So, you want to be a part of the show, You know, you can watch it, donate, share, comment, tell other people about what we're doing. If you want to book me, you can email DAREFILLSHOW@gmail.com, and we'll get some information out to you. We do a lot of virtual stuff because of the COVID-19 thing. We do virtual events, speaking events, rapping, conferences, whatever. Ain't nothing stopped because of COVID-19. We just doing a lot of virtual stuff now. So I'm gonna get off this thing, man. I said enough. Come back next week. We're gonna be back with another good show. Next week we got show number 19 and 20. Y'all come back, man. We're gonna see y'all next week. If you're an artist, if you're a DJ, if you're a promoter or an influencer of the gospel rap genre, look at the end of this show when I get off. Submit your information. We want to get you on the show soon, sooner than later. So we're gonna see y'all next week.